वाचेमामृत सुप्तां संजीवयति अखिल शक्ति धरस्वधाम्ना अन्यां सहस्र चरण श्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते भूषाय तुभ्यं त्वं भक्ति योग परिभाव तरुत्सरोज आशेषु तैक्षित पतो ननाथ पुंसां यद्धियायत उर्गाय भावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णवष्टाय मुदले श्रीमति महाविष्णुसाय ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णवष्टाय मुदले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती देव विचार निर्विशेष जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री वैदिक दास हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम. Thank you very much for all the devotees who have assembled here with auspicious morning, and then we are discussing one of the transcendental, supreme transcendental instructions of Rupa Goswami Maharaj. And therefore, actually, Prabhupada writes in the preface to the Nectar of Instruction that we are all Rupanugas. Rupanugas means we are all the followers of Rupa Goswami. And he is the topmost Goswami of all the six Goswamis. We know that. Huh? So there are Rupa Sanatana Gopala Bhatta, Jiva Goswami, and then we have Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So of the six Goswamis, Rupa Goswami is the topmost Goswami, and we are the followers of this. And therefore, this nectar of instruction, he has studied and given the essence of all the Vedic literatures, and therefore, it's the nectar of the nectar of the nectar of the nectar of the instructions. He has summarized the whole Bhagavatam, whole Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedic literatures is summarized into just 12 instructions. And these 12 instructions are purely nectarian, and each and every one, it is very important for us to meditate and contemplate. And of this particular verse, I am not at all qualified because I don't have taste for holy name, I don't have taste for Krishna Kada, I don't have any taste for Krishna consciousness. But somehow or other, Anu Prabhu and Sham Sundar has given me this so that I can meditate on this, on this verse, which is very important for me, for my own purification. And I request all the devotees assembled here, please pray for me. One day I get the taste, whatever I speak now, I will apply in my life because I'm still struggling to apply it because it's a very sublime and supreme subject matter. And therefore, this verse, please concentrate and to hear properly and try to apply this. If this one verse we can apply, then whole life will be perfect. So we'll go into the verse without wasting any more time. Okay. So I'll go to the verse. Chat Krishna Nama Charitati Sitapti Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narachikono Me Rachi Rochikanu Kindva Darat Anudinam Kaluseva Jushta. This is the Brahma Samhita lyric, no? Whatever we say, Govindamadi Purusham, same lyric. Swadbi Krimat Bhavadita Ganamula Antri Sat Krishna Nama Charitati Sitapti Vidya. Every day we can recite this. Before chanting the holy names, this verse can be recited. And we can pray to Guru Goswami, we can pray to Prabhupada, and we pray to our spiritual master. Please give me the taste for the holy name. Pitto tatapta pitta, fully pitta only we have. Rasanasya nanarochikanu, kindva dharat, anudhinam kalusaiva jushta, swadvi krimat bhavatita, gadamula mantri. Okay, we'll go into the verse. Sat is Krishna, Lord Krishna. Nama, the holy name. Charitadi, the character, pastimes, and so forth. Sita, sugar candy. Api, although. Avidya, of ignorance. Pitta, by the bile. Upatapta, afflicted. Rasanasya, of the tongue. Na, not. Rochika, palatable. No, oh, how wonderful it is. No, how wonderful it is. Kintu, but Adarat, carefully. Anudinam, every day or 24 hours daily. Every day or 24 hours. So you see, Prabhupada giving option. He is not saying 24 every hour and every 24 hours. He doesn't say. He knows that we will not do chanting 24 hours. So he is requesting us at least either this or that. So, Kalau, naturally. Sa, that sugar candy of the holy name. Eva, certainly. Justa, taken or chanted. Swadvi, relishable. Kramat, gradually. Becomes. Bhavati, becomes. Tadgata, of the disease. Mula, of the root. Hantri, the destroyer. Please hear the translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The holy name, the character, The pastimes and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet, like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by careful chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish will awaken within his tongue and the disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Please hear. A natural relish awakens within his tongue and this disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Purport, please hear. Very long purport. The holy name of Krishna, his quality, his pastime, and so forth, are all the nature of the absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Naturally, they are sweet like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. Nascence, however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretions. Attacked with jaundice, the tongue of a diseased person cannot palatably relish sugar candy. Rather, the person with jaundice considers something to taste very bitter. Avidya, similarly, of ignorance, perverts the ability to relish the transcendently palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention, please repeat, despite the disease, if one with great care and attention take to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy names and hearing the transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetness of the transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. When a man in the material world takes more interest in the material way of life than in Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in disease condition. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of Krishna. Jebele Swarupa hai, Krishnera Nitya Das. The healthy condition is lost when the living entity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by the external energies, external features of Krishna's Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Durashraya, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in Durashraya becomes a candidate for hoping against hope. In the material world, everyone is trying to become happy. And although their material realms are baffled in every way due to their reasons, they cannot understand their mistakes. People try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. This is the way of struggle for existence in the material world. If one is in this condition and is advised to take Krishna consciousness and be happy, he does not accept such instructions. This Krishna conscious movement is being spread all over the world just to remedy this gross ignorance. People in the general are misled by blind leaders. The leaders of the human society, the politicians, philosophers, and scientists are blind because they are not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, they are bereft of all factual knowledge due to their artistic way of life. They are actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among men. Namam duskirino muda prapadyante naradamaha maya apurada ashram bhavam ashrataha. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the artistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. 7:15 of Bhagavad Gita. Such people never surrender to Krishna, and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's center. When such atheists become the leaders of society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with initials. In such a condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive this Krishna conscious moment. Just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice does not release the taste of the sugar candy. However, one must know for the jaundice, the sugar candy is the only specific medicine. Similarly, in the present confused state of humanity, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the only remedy for setting the world all right. It is the only remedy for setting the world all right. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a diseased person, Srila Rupa Goswami, Prabhu, go down. Okay. Srila Rupa's Goswami nonetheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take it with great care and attention. He must take to it with great care and attention. One begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconception. Cheto darpana marchanam. Avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation for avankara or false ego within the heart. The real disease is in the heart. The mind is cleansed, however, the conscience is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and heart from all misconception, one should take this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material action, samsara dava. There are three stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord: the offensive stage, the stage of lessening the offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids this, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. This is called Bhava Mahani Davagni Nirvapanam. As soon as the one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the taste of transcendental life. The conclusion is that in order to get freed from the material disease, one must take to the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. The Krishna conscious movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which the people can take to the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. One must begin with faith, and this faith is increased by chanting. Person become member of society. We are sending the Sankirtana parties all over the world, and they are experiencing that even in the remotest part of the world, where there is no knowledge of Krishna, the Hare Krishna mantra attracts thousands of men to our camp. In some areas, people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Only a few days after hearing the mantra. This may be imitative, but imitation of good thing is desired. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiated by the spiritual master and offer themselves for initiation. If one is sincere, he is initiated, and this stage is called Bhajana Kriya. One then actually engage in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds daily and refraining from illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling. By Bhajana Kriya, one attains the freedom from the contamination of the materialistic life. He no longer goes to the restaurant or hotel to taste so-called palatable dishes made with meat and onions. Not does he smoke, drink tea or coffee. He not only refrains from illicit sex, but avoids sex life entirely. Nor is he interested in wasting time in speculating or gambling. Prabhuji, move Prabhu. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things. Anartha. The word anatta refers to unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes attached to Krishna conscious moment. When a person is relieved from unwanted things, he becomes fixed in executing Krishna activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities, experience ecstasy in executing devotional service. This is called bhava, the preliminary awakening of dormant of love of Godhead. Thus, the conditioned souls become free from material existence and loses interest in the bodily conception of life, including the material opulence, material knowledge, and material attraction of all variety. At such a time, one can understand who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is Maya is. Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attains the Bhava stage. This is because the devotee can see the real position of Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna. And forgetfulness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side with the light and the shadow. If one remains in shadow, he cannot enjoy the facilities offered by the light. And one remains in light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of shadow. By taking to Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated in and remains in light. By taking to Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in light. Indeed, he does not even touch the darkness. As confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhyalila 22.31, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya Andakar. Ye Krishna Gahan, Nahi Maya Adhikar. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Whenever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one to take Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of external energy will immediately vanish. Srila Prabhupada, transcendental purport, ki jai. No need for any explanation. So wonderfully he has given. Just meditate and adopt this particular purport whole life. No need to apply any of the verses from anywhere. This one purport is enough for the perfection of life. So let us meditate on this transcendental purport. Let me concentrate. We have to go into this deep and analyze. So some people can take for months together on this verse, but I don't have that realization. Frankly speaking, I don't have the taste also. So here, let us go to this verse, taste for the holy name or character or this. Now, let us go to this verse, which is very important for us. So here, uh, in the preface of this book, it's very important. Prabhupada writes very nicely. Because how we come to this stage of chanting the holy name. In all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself the platform of goodness, sattva guna, by following the instruction of Rupa Goswami. And then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. This is very important. See, everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed by Krishna. And Krishna's jurisdiction to give the taste also. Advancement of Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of Krishna conscious movement should become a perfect Goswami, means control of the senses, mind and senses. Now, coming back to this verse, you have to understand the formula given by Rupa Goswami to attain the taste for the holy names and Krishna Kada and character of Lord Sri Krishna. So here, Charitadi, okay, it's what written. So we have to bisect this verse nicely to understand. First, he described the nature of the holy name and Krishna's pastime. He says, Sad Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapi. So he says, Sad Krishna, Sad means, what is the meaning of Sad? What is written there? Syat means he is Krishna. Okay. He says what he says? Krishna. Nama Charitadi. Nama means names. Charita means his character and activities of transcendental activities of his Krishna's pastimes. Sita. Sita means it is a sugar candy. It is a sugar candy and no doubt about it. This is what the first thing we have to understand. Bisect the verse. So what is Krishna's name? It is beautifully mentioned as character is Nama, Krishna Nama and Charitadi is Sita. Sita means sugar candy. Now, is it a sugar candy for me? Now, no. Why? Because that is mentioned in the next line. Avidya pitokta tapta rasanasya no rojkano. That means, what does it mean? He says, avidya, we are in ignorance. Pita, by the bile. Bile means, when in the bile, there are three things. Mucus, bile and air. That is what is called Krishna Dodiya Padapanga Advaita Kapavada Pitta. Kapam, Vadam and Pittam. So Kapa means mucus, Vata means air, and Pitta means bile. That means if your stomach bile is not okay, what will happen? The Pitta is more. The acid is more, then it cannot digest. And the jaundiced person, his bile secretion is very, very bad. And the Jadrakni need, which is supposed to digest, it will not taste. And therefore, because the bile is completely polluted, jaundice means bile is polluted, and therefore we are also polluted by avidya. So that's what he is giving an example. So he is giving a nice example that presently our bodily conception of life, which is called avidya, ignorance, is really the cause for us not to taste the holy names. And that's why I'm not able to wake up for Mangalarti. I'm not able to chant with attention and enliven myself. And then enlivening and encouraging. It is not encouraging me. Every day I'm chanting the same names. 20 years I'm chanting. Prabhuji, I'm 20 years I'm chanting. Still I'm the same. Why? Because the bile has not been cleared. The pitta has not been removed. If the more the pitta is, what will happen? It will create indigestion and that will create loose motion or vomiting. And therefore, the jaundice patient is always prone to vomiting or diarrhea. That is the nature of the jaundice patient. And therefore, and what is this ignorance? Avidya. That's what we have to see. So Bhagavatam describes very nicely. That's what we are going to concentrate. So that unless we know what is this avidya and how to come out of it, we have to see. And that is the basis by which we can understand this. So Pita Rojika, no. So the sugar candy is the holy name, Krishna's pastimes. But however, presently it is Kadua. It is like Karela juice. Now, our chanting, our Bhagavatam reading, our Bhagavad Gita reading, Nectar instruction reading, all are Kadua because we don't have the taste for the holiness. And we have to remember here, Rupa Goswami instruct what is our duty. He says the taste can be got like this, but what is our duty also is mentioning. Adarat Anudinam. Adarat means careful, and it is our duty. So the taste for the holy name to see, for example, the jaundice has to go, it is not in our hands. But what we have to do, we have to take the sugar candy again and again. So what happens? The taking of the sugar candy, what happens? Gradually increases the taste. And then you get the taste and then you feel the taste. Otherwise, it is not palatable. Rochika. Rochika means it is not palatable. It is kadua. Even if you take a sugar candy, a jaundice patient, it is kadua. It is like Kerala juice. So the same way, by gradually, adarat, Adarat means careful. Anudinam means 24 hours if possible. If Prabhupada used the word daily or 24 hours. So if possible, we have to chant. And therefore, um, we will concentrate on that. Okay, a small example I will tell you what has happened. One time Narada Muni met one businessman. That's a story. The Narada Muni asked the businessman, "Can you chant the holy names?" He said, "No, I cannot chant." Morning you can chant? No. Afternoon you can chant? No. Morning I'm busy with my daily routines, washing, bathing, taking, and I'm doing some puja. So I don't have time to chant. And then he says, I have to do Durga puja, that puja, this puja, I have to do. And then afternoon, what did it? No, afternoon I'm busy in the office. In the evening, I come and see the papers. I have to do so many things. I come very late from the office. So I don't have time. When is the time? I don't have time. 24 hours, I don't have time. I sleep around 9:30, 10. So I don't have time. I have to look after the children. I have to look, I buy for them so many things. So he says, I cannot chant. The businessman said that. Then Ardhamuni caught him. What do you do during the bath? In bath, I take bath. That's all. Nothing else I do. Why don't you chant the holy names during the bath? You chant the holy names in the bath during the bath? No, I cannot do it. No, you should try. And then he said, okay, let me try. So he started chanting the holy names while doing the bath. Actually, while doing the bath, we are impure, completely impure, no? So in the toilet or anywhere. That's why we have to be very careful that our body is getting cleansed. And that is not the place to chant the holy names. But he chanted the holy names. So one day what happened? Hanumanji came and saw this businessman. And Hanumanji said that, what are you doing? When are you chanting the holy names? He said, I chant the holy names only in the bathroom. He said, you chant in the holy name in the bathroom with your tongue. You are such a toast. You don't know so much uncontaminated. Maline Mochana Pumsa. It is so dirty. How you can chant holy names in the bathroom? And then he became very angry. And therefore your tongue should not be there. So I hit you. So he hit the tongue. He hit the mouth of the businessman. And then he said, don't chant anymore. Then it became swollen and his blood was flowing. So he said that, and then he went after some time to meet Lord Ram. Lord Ram was sitting in Ayodhya and he was sitting with his wife. When Hanuman went and prostrated obeisances to Lord Ram, he said that Hanumanji said that this and that Basantama told this was instructed by Narada Muni. Narada Muni instructed like this? I don't think so. He could have instructed like this to you. Anyway, I will clarify with Lord Ram how we can chant the holy name. So he goes to Lord Ram. And Lord Ram says, you are pure devotee. Narada Muni is told that we can chant the holy names in the bathroom also. So I'm worried. So he goes and approaches Lord Ram. Lord Ram, and at that time, Sita Mata is putting some hot baggage and cold ice. She is putting on the mouth of Ram, and it was swollen. And then she was bleeding. And then she was asking Lord Ram, how would it happen? It is because of one devotee. He gave me a bag. Devotee gave a bag? How do you think like that? Why is he hitting you in your mouth? He hit me. What to do? So then Sita Mata she was just take care. Then you have to take action against the devotee. Don't give him any mercy. No, but he is my pure devotee. He is my very dearest devotee. He has served me so much. So how can I neglect him? So then he says, okay. And then in the meantime, Hanumanji comes. Then Krishna doesn't reveal to Sita Mata. And then Hanumanji prays obeisances to Sita and Ram. And then he looks at the Lord Ram's face. It was swollen, big and swollen, big face. He says, Radharam, what has happened to you? I'm so upset. What has happened to you? He started crying, Hanumanji. Well, Hanumanji, how he said, I cannot tolerate your suffering. Please forgive. What has happened to you? What has happened to you? Lord Ram, my master, my Prabhu, what has happened to you? Why you are suffering like this? Then he says, you know that one person gave a hit to my pure devotee. And because his mouth is swollen, and I also bear the brunt of that attack, immediately Hanumanji came to senses. Then he prostrated before, oh, I did aparadh to you. Krishna, I am Sabrad Ram, I am supposed to serve you. I have did an offense. Please forgive me. Why you are making me do this offense? And then fall at the feet of Lord Ram. Lord Ram says that you don't understand. Then he told, because why I did it. See, there is a purpose. Then usually what happens as a devotee, whenever we do, when you take When we fight with a new devotee, or when we fight with a regular devotee, long time devotee, and we argue, and then we base our arguments based on it. The same way here, Lord Hanumanji was justifying his position against Narada's instruction. He said, Narada said like that, you can chant the holy names in the bathroom. No, 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 it's not correct. Why you are allowing such a thing to happen? Then Lord Ram asked, my dear Hanumanji, do you know how many people die in the bathroom? So many people die in the bathroom and they don't chant the holy names. Then what they will do? They will get another material body. Suppose if I put a condition that they should not chant in the bathroom, in the toilet, then what will happen to them? They will go to hell. And that is not my position. I am Adabra Karuna, unlimitedly merciful. I have been so merciful to Putana, and this businessman is chanting my holy names. I have given a position to Datri, to position of a mother, to Putana. Putana I have given moksha. Shishupala I have given moksha, who are blasphemed me. And this person, businessman, is chanting the holy names in the bathroom. How can I afford to do it? Can you tell me? Can you give me justification? And then he says, Maline mochanam pumsam jalastanam dine sagut gitam dastanam samsara malamosham. So daily we take the bath. Maline mochanam pumsam jalastanam dine. Daily our contamination happens, we take the bath to remove. But Sakrit Gita Amritam. Gita Amritam means Krishna's character, name, and qualities. Samsara Malanasham. It removes all the sins. So this devotee who was not in Krishna consciousness, all the time working for his personal life, but however he is chanting my holy names, he has taken my names. Akama Sarvakama Mokshakama. How can I leave? So can you tell me, can I put a condition? Then that means, okay, he asked Hanumanji, okay, I agree with you. You should not chant the holy names. That means my names have no potency. Then why you call it Pavitram Paramam Bhavan? Why Arjuna called it Pavitram? Then Arjuna's statement becomes wrong. Can I make like that happen? My naam is not purifying. My naam is not purifying. Then Gajendra's praise will not have no value. So all the devotees who have chanted the holy names, their names will be invalid. So that means I am making a great offense against the holy name purity. Can I afford to do it? Then Hanumanji said, no, no, I cannot tolerate this. I am sorry, please forgive me. And then he goes and falls at the feet of the businessman and please give me forgiveness. So I have done a mistake, gloss bunder. Unless you forgive, I will not give. I will not take. I will not do anything in my life. Caught out of them with this great zeal. With great zeal, he caught hold the lotus feet of the businessman and fell at the feet and asked him for forgiveness. And then and then he came back and Ram's the swollen went away, and that businessman's is also went away. So that is the potency of the holy name. So it is so transcendently sweet. But however, we don't know the value. And that's because we are covered by ignorance. Now we will go into this. So, Kintu, and therefore, Rupa Goswami says nicely what we have to do to get the taste. Adarat Anudinam. Kintu Adarat Anudinam Kalu Jaiva Dushta. Kalu. Kalu means, what is the Kalu means? What is the word? Naturally, it will become natural. Presently, it is not. So that's why Prabhupada says, fake it and then finally make it. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, fake it. Now it is fake. Our chanting is fake. Everything is fake. But it will eventually become true because it has got the potential. We will see. This is only one tip of the iceberg I have given for the qualities of the holy names. We can speak for hours together, millions of lifetimes together. We can speak on the glories of the holy name and the pastimes of the Lord. This is only one pastime we do. So, avidya pitopta tapta rasanasya rochikano. Now we will understand what is this. So careful and attention, we will see. Uh, Careful with attention. So, here now we have to understand one thing. The taste for the holy names is not our business. Our business, Rupa Goswami says, you will get the taste if you do Adarat and Anudinam. So our duty, so it is not my domain. My domain is not to get the taste for the holy names. Yes, I have chanted, I should get the taste for holy names. I have to chant more. I have to take 24 rounds. I have to chant 48 rounds. All these gimmicks, don't do it. We have to be very clear. Don't do all this business. I'm telling you, don't get carried away by this. Oh, I have got this taste, I've got this taste. This person says, if he says he's got taste, that means he's in the Kanishka stage. So the real devotee says, I don't have taste at all. And that is the qualification of Namacharya Adidas Thakur. He says, I don't have taste for holy names. And what about us? We are so insignificant, so conditioned, rascal souls. How can we say that we have the taste for the holy names? So, our domain, our business, Rupa Goswami says, don't worry about the taste. That is Krishna's business. So, we don't interfere into the Krishna's business. And that is not under our control. To get the taste is not under our control. Okay, I have to get the taste, I have to chant, I have to get the taste for Bhagavatam reading. No. Our duty, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Our duty, Nityam Krishna Katha Sevaya. Our duty, Nityam Nama Sevaya. This is our duty. And Krishna's duty is to give the taste for the holy names, for Bhagavatam, for his Bhagavatam taste, and for everything, and for other Sevayas. So, for every service to get the taste, that is Krishna's business. It is not our business. And our duty is to do it judiciously and perfectly. And that is what we have to understand from this verse. Please, Prabhujis and Matajis, don't worry about the taste. Don't think about the taste. The taste is the domain of Krishna. And the taste is not our business. Our business is Adharat Anudinam. Our endeavor is to do diligently with attention. Once Prabhupada asked, what is mean with careful and attention? Prabhupada said, careful and attention is just hear the holy names. He says the mind is not working, mind is thinking some things. Forget about the mind. Just chant and hear the holy names. This is a simple formula. No need to complicate in the chanting of the holy names. No need to complicate. There are so many Maharajas, Mahajan Swami, and I think so many people have written about the glories Namamrita. So many people have written so many wonderful literatures. You can take the art of chanting Hare Krishna by Mahanidhi Swami. Mahanidhi, Art of Chanting Hare Krishna, beautiful book. That book presently we are not unfolded it because of space constraints. So that book is wonderful. The art of chanting, how nicely we can chant, how we can invoke all this. It is all mentioned. You can read those books. And that is for the inspiration to get the taste for the holy names. But don't worry about the taste. That is not our business. Our duty is Adarat Anudinam, Adarat Anudinam, Adarat Anudinam. This is what our business is. And this is what Rupa Goswami instructed. People go immediately. No, I have to come to the Namapa stage. I have to come to the pure chanting. That is not our business. That is the business of the spiritual master, and that is the business of the Krishna and Prabhupada. Spiritual master Krishna and Prabhupada will do it. Our duty is to do Adhara Dhanidinam and remove the avidya. We have to remove the avidya, which is Pitokta Taptaihi, that is a jaundice in our stomach, or in the mind, or in your consciousness. That jaundice of material fever should be removed. This avidya removal is our business. Adharat Anudinam, by chanting and by reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita daily, this process of cleaning all this avidya should be our business, to remove the reasons. That is our goal. And Krishna's domain, and Prabhupada's domain, and spiritual master's domain, clean and get the taste and give the taste. And the taste is the mercy coming from Krishna. Mercy from spiritual master, mercy from Prabhupada, and mercy from Krishna. This is the main thing. Are we doing diligently every day? 16 rounds. Today we chant 10 rounds, tomorrow 20, tomorrow 15, tomorrow 11. All these inconsistencies should be stopped. The more consistent we are, the more the reciprocation from Krishna. Krishna will give reciprocation. Please, I am telling you, Krishna has allowed me in the last 23 years to chant the holy names. No? 16 rounds without attention, with attention, some other he has allowed me. How much merciful he is. Imagine. Because if he starts thinking that this fellow is not chanted with attention, then he can simply reject me. Suppose I do inattentively in office. What will happen to my office? Next day, they will give me the letter. Bye-bye, see you tomorrow. See you. Inshallah, Krishna willing. Inshallah, they will say, Inshallah, we'll see you later. They give the paper, and then even if you work very hard, sincerely also, they give the paper now in Abu Dhabi. So this is how our situation in the material world. But Krishna, Prabhupada, and spiritual master are unlimitedly, unlimited mercy on us to chant the holy names with inattention also they accept it. And that's what we are going to see. How wonderful the potency of the holy names. So the why it is sugar and sweet candy? Because the potency is there in the holy name. So we will discuss that. Now we will go into the next part of the verse. Avidya. What is this Vidya? Avidya means Prabhupada writes in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 8 to 12. He tells very much importantly. This is the Vidya and this is Avidya. Krishna gives deciphers. What is Vidya? What is Avidya? He clearly tells that. First, he starts with Amanitvam, Madambitvam, Ahimsa, Shanti, Rajavam, Achara, Vyopasanam, Chaucham, Stairyam, Vinigraha, Indi, Arteshu, Vairagyam, Anankara, Evacha, Janma, Mrityu, Jaravadi, Dukha, Doshan, Darshanam. This is very important. Janma, Mrityu, Jaravyadi. Ashakti, Ranababistanga, Putrakdara, Gagadishu, Nityam, Chasamasitvatam, Istopa, Nishtopapatishu, Maicha Ananya Yogena. This is very Maicha Ananya Yogena. Bhakti Avyabhicharini. Unflinching devotion. Vivikta Deshi means alone. They say with them. Not that no, I will chant with. Yes, it's ideal to chant with the devotees, but we should be able to chant alone also. Vivikta says we say with Tvam, Arati, Janasam. Then only the real taste will come when you chant holy names alone. Not that no, I will chant with all the devotees. Yes, group chanting is best, but we should be ready to chant alone. Because unless we chant alone, then the association will give us more potence, more influence, and then they can give some suggestion. But we should be able to stay chant alone also. Vivikta Seti Sevitvam, Arati Jana Samshiti. This is also a requirement, huh? To be alone. Adhyatma Jana Nityatvam, Tattva Jana Tadarshanam, Etadi Jana Miti Proktam, Ajnanam Yeda Anyata. He says very nicely that anything other than this is ignorance. So this avidya, amanitvam, adambitvam. So why this is knowledge? This knowledge, amanitvam means humility. Adambitvam means pridelessness. These are all, and then tolerance. Shanti means tolerance. These are all the qualities we have to develop. And that's why Prabhupada, the Rupa Goswami, in the preface, Prabhupada writes that attitude is the following. That means the chanting of the holy names is one side and the behavior changing on us. Adarat Amudinam, daily evaluate, are we behaving properly with the devotees? Are we behaving proper with other living entities? Are we behaving proper with every person in this world? Because any person can die any time. This is what our Maharaj says. Any person can any day, any time. Suppose if you offend a devotee, and the devotee becomes pure devotee. Just the best example we can take from the basis of the Bhagavad is Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, what did he do with Surichi? She offended him. She offended him. At the time, he was not a devotee. He was an ordinary material karmi person. And then he said, I am the karmi person. He went to Krishna with a motive that I want to conquer the entire three worlds better than my father. Just you want to sit in the lap of the father, which denied. And she said, you go. And then what has happened? He became a pure devotee. And Krishna never left. Krishna never left her. And then what has happened? She has to die in a forest fire and then she has to have the putra shravan. Her son died before her. Imagine. So that's why we have to be very careful in uttering words to the living entities. Even for the devotees, neophytes, don't put any condition for all this. You have to come. Don't put a gun. Devotion service is voluntary. Chanting is voluntary. Nobody is forcing you to put a gun on your head. No. It has to come natural. And that's why Prabhupada used the word natural. Natural means what? That's the main thing which is natural. What is that? Kalu. Kalu means natural. Natural means no force. This is the main thing to be understood. We cannot force the living entity to chant the holy names of Krishna. So we know what is avidya. Now, regarding this avidya, what is the type of covering we have? So, and how the covering is removed by the spiritual master. And this is very important for us to meditate. And before we go into the taste for the holy names, we have to understand what is Vidya. We just briefly described. Let's go into deep. And that is what we have to do as a devotee. So we have to concentrate on how to remove this. And this is nicely mentioned in the pages of the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 20th chapter, 18. There are 5 types of avidya coverings. Okay? 5 types of coverings are there. And it is going to explain to you how these 5 types of coverings covering the conditioned soul in this material world for lifetimes, so many millions of janmas. What has happened when Brahma was creating this world? At the time, these 5 elements came, and then he didn't like it. He cast away his body and take a new body because he didn't like creating ignorance. But he has to create it because it is a part of the material creation. Because the material world itself is called ignorance, material. The whole material world is called tamas. So that's what we are going to discuss. There are 5 types of coverings, and let us discuss this. I think we have discussed, I don't know. Let me share them. It's worth it to share because this coverings is the main thing which is preventing us. And this ignorance is the bile. It is the jaundice in our heart, in our heart and the mind, which is polluting us in not allowing us to chant the holy names in pure state of consciousness. And that's what Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad also. So we should know what is this 5 coverings. I think before I discuss, I don't know. Let me discuss again. It is worth discussing again because again and again we have to Adarab Anudinam. Anudinam means always we have to. So it says Sajjan Chaya Vidyam Avidyam. It is also talking about Avidyam. Panchaparman Agrataha Tamishram and Tamishram Tamo Moha Mahatamaha. This is what is mentioned here nicely. So here, first of all, Brahma created from his shadow. From his shadow means ignorance. Always the shadow. Your Surya Sama, Surya nahi hai, then there is Andhakar. So that's what we saw in the Prabhupada's purport. Same thing is mentioned here. So created from his shadow, the coverings of ignorance. What is the coverings of the ignorance? Of the conditioned souls. Prabhupada writes very nicely. Third canto, 20th chapter, 18th verse, 3:20:18. If you want, I'll mention this. When you have time, you can go through. I can send you also uh, uh, 3:20:18. So I can send you also. There is a Grantraj article. I'll try to send it to Anup Prabhu. He will share it with all of you. So it's a wonderful article. It was written in 2010. So okay, we will discuss this now. Okay. Now here, generally, we are all addicted to something. For example, uh, there was one devotee, Yogesh Prabhu in Abu Dhabi. Actually, he was supposed to take initiation with our Maharaj in 2002. But biggest problem, he told Maharaj, Maharaj, I can give everything. I can give onion garlic because he never tasted onion garlic. He's a Gujarati, born Gujarati. Gujaratis, they don't take onion garlic. So there is no problem for him. From Maharaj, I have all other, no intoxication I have. But there is one intoxication which you cannot avoid. It is tea. And Prabhupada Maharaj said, no, it's tea, I cannot give you initiation. So it took 2 years for him to get rid of this intoxication. So this means the addiction because the nicotine, the caffeine, these are all the addiction for us. Now I couldn't leave also. And 98 to 2000, almost 2 years, I was taking decaffeinated coffee. I could not leave that because it's an addiction. So it is not so possible for us to give it. And therefore, it is called addiction. This avidya is also an addiction. So we will see what is this addiction. And then we will see what it is. So here, Prabhupada writes in the purport beautifully. He explains what is this tamishra, what is andatamishra, what is tamas, what is moha, and what is mahamoha. All these are nicely described, Prabhupada, because if he doesn't describe just the word, sentence and the word, doesn't have any meaning for us, for me to understand. Otherwise, I cannot understand this verse. Without Prabhupada purports, we have to cry. Imagine how much he has put efforts to write this one single purport, Sa Krishna Namadi Charitat. How much you would have put effort. How much you have meditated. Prabhupada said, please allow me to meditate. Don't involve me in office figures. And that's why he woke up at 1 o'clock. Such a Maha Bhagavad. And then we don't have time. We give so many excuses. Prabhuji, I got this job, I got this job, I got this job. I don't have time even for 15 minutes for reading this. Please allocate some time to read this Bhagavad. Please allocate some time to read this Nectar of Instruction. Please allocate some time to Chaitanya Sarita. 15 minutes. Don't take 4 hours, 5 hours. No need to worry. On Sundays, you can take more time. Saturday, Sundays. Friday, Saturdays for Abu Dhabi. But other times, spend some time with Prabhupada. Prabhupada is talking to you. Every Prabhupada is talking to you. Prabhupada is telling you do this, you do this, you do this, you will get this, you do this, you do this. How much is talking to you? How much we are so, and that even then you are so merciful. He is allowing us to chant. Every day is waking up. Otherwise, what will happen? One time, what has happened? One of my god brother, Devakinanda Prabhu, very close, one of the foremost disciple of Maharaj. What has happened? He fell from second floor, and then he broke his right hand and all. And then he called out Maharaj. Maharaj said, Devaki, how are you? Maharaj, everything is okay, Maharaj, but the only problem is I'm not able to move my chanting beats and I'm able to do only 2 to 4 rounds. Don't worry, my son. I will chant for you balance 12 rounds. Maharaj chanted for 1 week. And then he became very upset. He said, "No, Maharaj, you cannot chant for me." Then he started chanting. He said, "I cannot do this." Maharaj said, "I will chant." The same thing happened to one lady also. Maharaj said, "I will chant your rounds if you have problems." So this is how the spiritual master is so merciful. And Prabhupada is so merciful. And that too, we don't understand their mercy. And this is what, and this is the reason. And then we blame Prabhupada, we blame Maharaj, why we are not getting the taste for the holy names. Because we are not following their principles. Prabhuji's Maharaj, please think about it. Why we are not going to Prabhupada? Why we are not going to the like, Nectar of Instruction? Why we are not going to Nectar of Devotion? Why these literatures are written? So much mind, his energy is spent on writing on this. How much time and energy? 14 times he round the planet he went. He took the curse of the disciples, the father and mother, they cursed him that he could not stay in one bus. He said he accepted the curse. And 765 to 1970. 12 years he chanted a world round the 14 times. Just see. And then he was translating. Never. Juhu temple was a problem. Bombay temple was a problem. Mayapur temple was a problem. Every temple in India was a problem. Every temple all over the world was a problem. But still, his consciousness, because he was completely pure devotional service. Because Adarat Anudinam, he simply followed the instruction of the spiritual master. He simply followed the Rupa Goswami's instruction. He was crying in the Rupa Goswami Samadhi in Vrindavan, in the Radha Damodar temple. He was crying to Radha Rupa. Rupa Goswami, please give me a mercy. Oh, Sanatan Goswami, please give me a mercy. And then why he cannot give? And then therefore, with 40 rupees, now $400 billion worth of interest. This one man has done it because and this one person has put so much efforts, and we don't want to read the purports also. We take so much time, and that's why we are not getting the taste for the holy names. The moment we read these purports, then we get everything in limit. Just read this 32018 wonderfully. I will describe this beautifully. I will put it in the form of points, bullet points for you. So generally we are addicted to addicts. Addict A D D I C T. This is the 6 words. This is the acronym I forward. So I will forward to you. A D D I C T. What is this? What is this addict means? We'll see. So first is A is anger. And anger means, anger is also called, another name is anger is called envy. When we are envious, we become angry. When we are angry, we are envious. So this is mutually inclusive. So anger and envy are same. There is no difference. And therefore, that we are all the time we are envious. Even the devotion service also. Oh, this Prabhuji is doing nicely. Oh, Shamsundar Prabhu is such an exalted personality. He's chanting so wonderfully Krishna's names. I'm not up to the mark. I'm very envious. But Prabhuji, he has got this problem, that problem, that problem, this problem. So we blame, we criticize, we find fault finding, and therefore, what is happening? Avidya is increasing. So this is called anger. This is the first one, addiction. This is the first addiction is anger, because we become angry without any reason, because we are not able to tolerate. Bhagavad tells 4:647. It says, Paro Durapyatana, means we cannot tolerate the flourishing condition of others. Suppose somebody is materially and spiritually well, we cannot tolerate. Suppose somebody is materially well, but spiritually not well, we are okay. Suppose when you are spiritually well, but materially not okay, we are happy. But suppose he is spiritually and materially very well, then we cannot tolerate, because we become envious of that living entity. This is the nature. Therefore, the anger, Bhagavatam tells that this is an intoxicant. It has got effect effects. So, what is happening? This anger, forgetfulness of the constitution position, and therefore it's anger. Constitution means that we are Swarupa Krishna Das. Then this covering is called Tamishra. Prabhupada writes in the purport, Tamishra. This is the first covering, which is the first avidya ignorance called Tamishra. So anger means Tamishra. Means every time we are in anger, that means we are in ignorance. And this is Tamishra. Tamishra means darkest place of ignorance. And then it is going to be next is D. First is anger, A. Next is D, death. Death is the ultimate end. We always think that death is the ultimate. After death, nothing happens. That's what most of the people, these people think. And we think that death is ultimate, there is nothing more. And this ignorance, avidya, is called Andathamishra. This is the condition. The concept that death is to be ultimated. And that's why what has happened. There is a great, I think, very good fellow, Rajput, somebody from Bombay. He committed suicide. Such an young fellow acting in so many films, very become so much famous, so much money he made. He committed suicide. Can you imagine? And there was also one Tamil serial ad girl, very beautiful girl. She had a wonderful family and she committed suicide. Because why? Because they think death is the ultimate. But death is not ultimate. They have to take another body. They have to be in the ghost body. Bhagavatam tells that if you commit suicide without giving the Krishna's time for existence, this material world, then we have to be a ghost body. We will not get a subtle gross body. We'll have a subtle body, mind, intelligence, ego, and then we become ghost. We go around till our karmas has finished, then to get a new body. So that's how it is. Death is the ultimate. D. That means under Tamishra. First is Tamishra, which is anger, and then death. Death is not ultimate. Death we think as ultimate end. That is called under Tamishra. And then third, denying the existence of soul. Because we deny the death, then we deny the existence of the soul. Existence of the soul means that this particular denying the existence of the soul is called tamas. This is also a covering of the avidya. So this is the third covering. First covering anger means tamishra. And then next is D. Death is ultimate and is called under tamishra. And third, D is called denying the existence of the soul. Denying, when you deny that there is no soul in the body, then that is called tamas. Now the next comes moha. Moha means illusion. And this illusion means we are in the bodily conception. That means we are in avidya. We know that we are this body. And that's why every day morning, what happens? 3:30, why I should wake up? Why I should chant Krishna's name? What is the purpose? What Krishna is reciprocating? We think like that, and then we lose it. And because we are in the bodily conception, we don't have the taste for waking up from Mangala. I also don't have the taste. So illusion has the bodily attachments. So moha, the illusion of the bodily concept of man. And the results in fighting between family, society, and nation. We fight. And then next is, what is that? Mahamoha. First is Tamishra, Antatamishra, Tamas, Moha, and Mahamoha. Mahamoha means complete sense gratification. So what we do, just if Gulab Jamun comes in front of us, we drop the chanting beads and go after Gulab Jamun. These are it. Suppose Khichdi comes, we go for the Khichdi and forget about the chanting. Because we are Mahamoha, because we want to enjoy, taste the Gulab Jamun, taste the Khichdi, take the sabji, Chena sabji, we want Chole Pature, we want Chola. Without Chola, I cannot eat. Without Shrikand, I cannot eat. Without Tepla, I cannot eat. Without Dokla, I cannot survive. So this is how, without Dal Makini, we cannot eat. So this is how our mind thinks that I won't have every day. We plan. We tell our Matajis, we tell our wives, prepare this sabji, and all. We are thinking whether we are pleasing Krishna, no, because we are tasting our tongue. This is Mahamoha, complete sense gratification. And then we want to watch the TV, we want to Twitter, we go to Instagram, we waste our time. Mahamoha. And this Mahamoha, these five coverings: A, anger; D, death is the ultimate end; D, denying the existence of the soul; I, illusion; C, complete sense gratification. And then this total, what happens? Total ignorance. Avidya. It is called avidya as per Bhagavad. So we are completely covered, and this addict is called material addict, which binds us in this material world. There is no way we can taste the holy names, characters, and forms of Krishna at all. And then we don't have the taste. And that is a fact. And when my position I'm telling, I'm not telling your position. So this is how we, but if you come to Krishna consciousness and come to the shelter of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, what is that? This is material addict. Then when you go to transcendent addict, what will happen? Completely transforms from avidya to vidya. Complete knowledge. We are going to see that also. So it's already 9. I think I should stop here. I think so many things to be talked. Let me stop here. Hare Krishna. We'll continue, Krishna willing, tomorrow. As per Anup Prabhu told me to continue because. So any questions? Any clarification?
Hare
Bhagavatam,
Prabhuji.
nectar of instructions. Yes,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
yes, Mataji. Dandot
What is
Prabhu.
tea? What is the tea?
Which
Last
Mataji?
C after C T you told us Prabhuji.
T means total ignorance. Total addict. ADDICT.
C means
A.
complete gratification. T means
T means total ignorance. Total ignorance, all the five. That is Tamishra, Andatamishra, Tamas, Moha, and Mahamoha. All the five coverings becomes total addiction. Total ignorance. Avidya, total ignorance. That means we are completely covered by these five. Understood, Mataji? Is it okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna
I have
Prabhuji.
not even I have not spoken even about the glories of the holy name. And I have to give the remedy for this. How to get rid of that. Now we are in the material addict. We have to go to transcendental addict. And then we have to see the glories of the holy names. And then we have to see about careful attention, how to do careful attention. There are so many things which spoken. So that's why I'm concentrating on this. It's worth concentrating because it is really worth. I thought that this verse is very important. It's a seed verse. So I thought I will share.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, and it was so nice, Prabhuji, because yes, Prabhuji will also be taking a tomorrow class, but it is so important to go through this, Prabhuji, because directly jumping into the whole nectar of instruction is nothing but our mind, sense control, attitude, and how to we need to deal with devotees. And thank you for sharing so much wonderful, like Prabhuji, the story that you shared with Hanumanji. It was so much. Very important that in the starting we get some taste, but we lose taste very frequent. I mean, after some time, because we do or we'll take care the devotees. This devotee is not right. This devotee is not wrong, and we'll try to do this thing, and that is why we lose taste. So we should always be careful while dealing with devotees. And nectar of instruction is all about the dealing with devotees, how we need to deal ourselves, and how, as Prabhuji has highlighted, the ignorance. First, we need to check ourselves how we are and why what we are, and how what are the mistakes that we are daily we are making, that is making our losing the taste. So thank you for giving us so much, and thank you for sharing the acronym addict also, Prabhuji, so that we can remember this purport. And as you said, Prabhuji, the Maharaj, we know Maharaj so merciful, but he has not given initiation for simple tea. So how much important that four regulatory principles that will lose the connection with ourselves to the parampara. And I request any of the devotees, if they have any questions, they can come forward and ask, or else we can close the session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can we ask question?
Yeah, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, will continuing in Krishna consciousness, we have to spend so much time daily. I mean, does it affect our material life? I mean, I'm asking because you are an experienced devotee.
Who is this, Prabhu? Who is speaking?
I'm Varun, Prabhuji.
Varun, okay. Prabhu, actually, what we have to do is material duties should not be ignored because it is mentioned nicely in the page of Bhagavad Gita, 5:10 of Bhagavad Gita. He says that Brahmanya Adaya Karmani Sangam Tattva Karodhyaha Lipyate Papena Padma Patra Ivamasa. He says Brahmanya Adaya Karmani. Brahmanya means Krishna. When you have to go to Krishna consciousness, Adaya Karmani. We should resign every day we should resign from the results of our activities, the material life. Daily resign. We have to resign daily. We do the work meticulously and resign it. And don't expect any results. Brahmana Sangam Tattva Karodhya. Sangam Tattva. Tattva means we don't associate with the results of the activities. And then Lipyate na Papena. Then no sins will accrue. Then Padma Patra Ivamasa. We should live like a lotus. Lotus in the Kicha. Kichna. Kichna means it is in the dirty water. But you know dirty water touches it. Even though it is the dirty water of the lake or a river, it doesn't affect the lotus because water doesn't stick to it. And that's how we should live our life. So what we should do in office also, you see your office person as your spiritual, as Krishna, non-different Krishna. I'm satisfying him as Krishna. Don't think he's a material body. His spirit soul is inside. He's your boss, and you have to satisfy him 100%. And that is not negligence of the duty. A devotee is never careless. If he is careless, he is not a devotee. He is careful in material activities and spiritual activities. So what we do meticulously, we do wonderfully, we do immaculately, so that what happens? When you do very nicely, your boss is satisfied, and therefore you have more time for to think Krishna. You become peaceful. Suppose we are not doing a material activities. In the office also, I am going to chant holy names, I am going to read Bhagavatam. Then you cannot do your work properly. And then when you come home, you are not finished the work, you become depressed. Oh, this work is pending. My boss is going to shout me tomorrow. Deadline is there. Deadline is there. That deadline has to be met. And we have to do it immaculately. And therefore, the moment we do immaculately and meticulous, very, very careful attention. Just like Adarat Anudinam. Adarat Anudinam, not only in chanting. Every aspect of devotee's life is like that. Every aspect of your life. If you're dealing with the living entity, if you're dealing in the incon temple, if you're dealing in office, you're dealing your wife, you're dealing in living entities, all the time is Adarat Anudinam. This one word of Rupa Goswami is enough to change our consciousness. So not only that, this is applicable only for chanting the holy names. So you understand the point? So
Yes,
Adarat Anudinam means we are careful in our office also. Don't neglect your office duties. Flow of Lakshmi is there. You go, I go. Now I'm retired now. I go off, I spend money. Money is draining now. Like ocean, it is going like that. Just like the ocean, it is going. Just like the fuel is pumped out of the fuel gives out of the vehicle, then immediately it evaporates. Like that, money is evaporating. It is a fact. Don't deny. In Kali Yuga, we have to work. Our Maharaj never said that you become full-time devotee, Krishna will take care. No. Krishna never said that. Where he said that Krishna that you do, you don't do it. You could have told Arjuna, go and sleep, no? I'll fight the battle. I'll kill all the living entities. Krishna can kill. By a glance, he can kill. Krishna can kill. Why he said, Arjuna, you have to fight. You have to take the arrow. You have to hit the arrows. I can give you, empower you. But you have to do your duty. And that's what he says. We have to remember the biggest verse. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma anusmarana yudhacha. Ma anusmarana. But you have to yuddha. Yuddha you have to do. I will not do for you. You understand? So we can never neglect our material duties. We should do it meticulously and immaculately so that our wife is happy, our boss is happy, and everybody is happy. Then you become happy and you become peaceful to do the devotional service. Chanting Adarat Anudinam. You can do it with attention and devotion. And then Anudinam, careful and attention. So we can do it without any problem. Rapt in attention, you can do. Then you will, Krishna will reveal the taste. Because Krishna is happy because you are satisfying your boss, you are satisfying your wife, you are satisfying your children. Imagine why Krishna will not be happy. Santushta. Krishna will become Tushyati Ashu Janardana. And that's why Prabhupada writes, and there is a verse, Daya Sarva Bhuteshu Santushta Enekinema. Sarvendra Upashantaya Tushyati Ashu. Tushyati means immediately, Ashu, immediately with satisfaction. Daya Sarva Bhuteshu means we should be careful and attention to all the living entities. And this is the quality of a devotee. Okay, never neglect. But at the same time, if you do your duty perfectly, then you have time when you come home from the office, you concentrate on your bhakti. Morning you do bhakti, Mangalarti, chanting, go to the office, work excellently, don't think about anything, offer the results to Krishna, then Padma Bhattara Ramas. Then everything is perfect. When evening you come, chant the holy names. If you have time, then you start opening the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad, Nectar instruction, Nectar. You choose anyone. First start Bhagavad Gita. That is the best. And read the Prabhupada's purport and meditate and concentrate. Why Prabhupada has said like that? We have to ask. We have to ask this question. I'm asking the question. Every verse, you have to go deep. That's to explain. And then you have to explain. After sometimes, how many years I will be here in this lifetime? I may lose the body anytime. So you people should be empowered to preach to so many living entities. So many living entities are coming without Krishna consciousness. We are only 19. So many people in Delhi, so many people in Abu Dhabi to be given Krishna consciousness. So you people take up this initiative. And you should be able to read and give the lectures.
Understand, Prabhuji. One more question, Prabhuji. Like, what kind of exercise is recommended for devotees? Like, I used to run regularly earlier. Then I was like 70 kg. Now I'm 90 kg. So I have to do something for it.
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. Prabhu, who is this Prabhu?
I'm Varun, Prabhuji. Again.
Yeah, you have to reduce your weight. You have to walk. Vrajajana Ranjana. Vraja means walk. Krishna walked without any slippers. He walked because he told his mother that all the 900,000 cows, they don't have shoes. I don't have shoes. I don't want shoes or slippers because they are not wearing. I will wear without slippers.
But only running gives immediate results. You know, in 1 week I can lose like 2 kg.
You have to reduce your eating. So what you have to do? You have to control. That's what he says. No, what is that? First verse. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam etan vegam yo vishisheta dhiraha. So you have to become dhira. What is that? So we have to vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jikva vegam udaro pashta vegam. Jikva vegam means control your tongue. Don't eat gulab jamuns. Eat very little chapati. The 5 chapatis, eat only 2 chapatis. Control your tongue. And that is only the devotee. Otherwise, you become 90, then you cannot move your body from one place to another. How we can do service to Krishna? So we have to do a lot of service. Do some manual labor. It is very important. You have to walk every day. If you cannot run, at least you walk for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. 45 minutes.
Walking while chanting can be done like for 2 hours. It will be.
Yeah. But chanting should be with attention. Walking means you should not put your mind everywhere. Adarat will not be there. So we have to walk and chant. There is no problem. But you should concentrate on the holy names. We should hear the holy names. That is very important. Okay.
Okay,
And don't worry about the taste. I would not recommend. I have not got the taste for 20 years. So, but I'm doing because my spiritual master wanted me, Prabhupada wanted me, Krishna wanted me. I'm doing it for that pleasure. Whether the taste comes or not doesn't matter. So I'm doing it. I want to do it. That's all. Adarat Anudiram. This is my objective. And Krishna's duty to give me taste when he gives, in which life, doesn't matter. Maybe millions of lifetimes will take for me to get the taste, doesn't matter. But I will continue. So that is what we are doing. Okay, Prabhu. So, but you have to reduce your weight. 90 kilos is too much. I have become 80 also now. Because I have retired, I've got weight. I have to reduce now. I'm reducing my eating now. Because I'm not working so anywhere. So you have to reduce. Please control your weight. Because if you don't control your weight, it will be the process of disease. You are just young, no? How old are you, Prabhu?
I'm reaching 37 now.
Oh, very careful, Prabhu. No, 90 is too much. You should reduce to 60. Your target should be 60. That means you do a lot of Ekadashi fasting, Prabhu. Everything will be all right. Ekadashi Nirjal fasting you do. all your fat. Right. At least what I suggest, good suggestion is that don't eat anything up to 12 o'clock. Yeah, on Ekadashi day. You fast it. Then that all the fat will be burnt by that fasting. And then so many devotees fasting days are coming. You can do that fasting. And try not to eat morning, no? Morning 4:30 to 9, don't eat anything. Just control. Only at 9 o'clock breakfast you take it. Because you eat, go on eating, no? So we should stop. At least what you should do, there are 3 things, no? What is that? When you eat 3 times a day, is a rogi, is a diseased. Only times 2 times a day, a bogi, is an enjoyer. And one time a day, is a yogi. At least we should become a bogi, not a yogi. If not a yogi, don't become a rogi, diseased. Disease is waiting to come into your place. That is how, yes, all blood sugar, BP, everything is waiting at your door. Please don't allow that to come. You chant the holy names and walk a lot and do physical exercise. Just running also is very good. Go to some yoga and exercise, spend some money and do some yogas and do some stress test and all this which is there, no? We go to the gym and do some exercise. It is very important. 37 we can do. There is no problem. You are young only. So you can take some lot of exercise. You can run actually. You should run. You should run a lot. That's why you will have to reduce to 60 if possible. Okay? Try Prabhu in this direction.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you.
Just do fasting. Most of the time, fasting will burn up all your fat. All your cholesterol will be consumed by fasting. The more we fast, the more we can get healed. Yes. Already 9:15. We have to stop here. I have been told to talk only 45 minutes. I have already spoken a lot. I should stop here. Okay, Anu Prabhu. Krishna will meet tomorrow. Prabhu will close now. Hare Krishna.
I think Anup Prabhu is on mute. No problem. Prabhuji, there are 2 more questions if we can take them.
Yeah, it has come in the chat.
Yes. So,
Okay.
Rajat Prabhu is asking, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, how to increase chanting quality as every day the chanting quality fluctuates?
Yes. See, that's what I told you in the class also. Our quality is not our criteria presently. Quality means tasteful chanting. That is not our business. Our business is to do adarat with careful attention. Quality, don't worry too much about the quality. Our Maharaj used to say that of the 16 rounds, if you can chant 4 rounds with attention is very good. If not, one round. If not one round, at least about 18 mantras with attention, it is very good. So that quality also slowly 18 to 20, 20 to 22, like that we have to increase. But never stop it. So because the quality is not there, don't stop chanting. Chanting quality is there or not there doesn't matter. And that's what I told you. The quality is also mercy given by Krishna. To be attentive to chanting also, Krishna gives a remembrance. Oh, I have to remember the names. So our duty is to chant. Let it fluctuate, doesn't matter. One day you do good chanting, one day you doesn't matter at all. But you continue to chant. So Krishna will see the endeavor and consistency. Where you chant, what time you chant, and all. And then actually he will give you the taste for the quality, and it is his duty. And I told you, our domain is not to worry about the quality. Our domain is to chant Adarat Anudinam with attention. We try our level best. We put our best endeavor. Immaculately, we should try to quality. Don't try that I have to chant 16 rounds with perfection. We are not Maharajas. Don't imitate Maharajas. Don't imitate pure devotees. We cannot imitate them. We have to get inspiration and try to do a portion of it. And that's how we should treat. As a devotee, we should always think that we are struggling in the bhakti. As I would say, we are struggling to become a devotee. Or not even struggling devotee. Three types of devotee: pure devotee, struggling to become a devotee. We are still struggling to become a devotee. And that's why this fluctuation happens. Don't worry too much about it. Just chant, try to do attention. Fluctuation doesn't matter. Don't worry. As long as the fluctuation is there, it's good. At least its fluctuation is there. Now, one day you are chanting, one day you're not chanting. So it is good. It is balancing. Slowly the fluctuation will go. Okay? And then pray to Krishna, pray to Guru, and then pray for their mercy, then automatically. Okay.
Prabhuji, one thing I experienced, like before sleeping, if I'm chanting like 1 or 2 rounds, in the morning I'm feeling very blissful.
Correct. Actually, our Maharaj says, what he says is, I used to chant in the night 1 or 2, not 1 or 2 rounds and 1 or 2 malas, one or two names I used to chant. Maharaj says, night, before you sleep, you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And then wake up in the early morning and chant Hare Krishna. Your sleep is also devotion service. Because sleep is also required. Body requires rest. So that is also devotion service. So it is very good, Prabhu. It is, yes. Because that clarity, because that is Krishna's mercy. Krishna is reciprocating it. What is the other question, Prabhu?
Okay, one last question we will take. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pankaj Sopti Prabhu is asking, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, in ISKCON temples, there are 4 main deities. Why they don't pray to other Vishnu Tattva deities?
That's a very good question. But there is no problem. Actually, any Vishnu Tattva deity is very good. If you are attached to Kurma, you can attach to Kurma. Actually, there is a nice pastime in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This Murari Gupta is an ardent devotee of Lord Ram. He is Hanuman incarnation. So what he used to do, one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that you should chant only Krishna's names. Don't chant Ram's names. He told him very clearly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is what Krishna himself. So he is the authority. So he told him that Murari Gupta, if you cannot chant Krishna's name, don't come to me. Then he felt very bad. What I should do? Whole night he was thinking, if I cannot chant Ram's name, what will happen to my life? Oh, I'll become bad. I am unfit to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go away. I cannot chant Ram name also. He is not different from Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is incarnation of Krishna. Radharani is combined incarnation of Radharani and Krishna. How can I go? So he was feeling he was about to commit suicide in the morning. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Are you ready to chant? I am ready to commit suicide, he said. I cannot chant Krishna's names, he said. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I want to test you, that you be fixed at the lotus feet of Lord Ram. That is your constitutional position. That is your natural position. Kalu we saw in this verse. Kalu means natural position. So you can't. So, but actually what has happened is, Prabhupada wanted basically Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And therefore, because Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami, and Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnation, Prabhupada wants to establish Radha Krishna deities all over the world. And Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya principle is that Radha Krishna worship. And because Sri Sampradaya, they worship Lakshmi Narayana. And they worship Bhumi Mata. And then they worship Lakshmi and Bhu Devi, Sri Devi. It means Lakshmi and Bhu Devi. Even Mother Earth is also being worshipped. That's what they do in South India. So it is our basic Sampradaya, Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, which we are hidden from the Brahma, it is the worship of Radha Krishna. And it was even challenged during the period by the Sri Sampradaya, and it was thwarted by what is his name? Buridan Das. And who wrote the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, who is the disciple of Vishnu Chakratapura. So there is no problem, because Bhagavatam also tells, there is a nice verse, I think 3, 9, 12, I think 3, 9, 11 or 12, somewhere there. I think 11, I think. Bhakti yoga paribhava daritsa roja asheshu daikshita patona nanati pumsam yeddet diyayata urgaya ubhavayanti tattat vapu pranese sadanugrahaya. Says, Krishna says, tattat vapu. Tattat vapu means that our transcendental form from Krishna will give the mercy. So, but ISKCON wanted to concentrate on Krishna, because we are following the Brahma Gaudiya Sampradaya. Suppose if we put the Narayana, if we put, then the diversions will be there. And Prabhupada doesn't want diversion. And therefore, he wants to project on Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is the reason Prabhupada wanted Radha Krishna deities to be worshipped all over the world. And that is the main reason. And that's why he has recommended Narasimha worship, and he opens Jagannath Baladev also. So it is there in all the temples. And if you go to Gujarat temples, ISKCON, we have Srinathji, because a lot of Srinathji is there. Srinathji worship is going on in Gujarat. In most of the temples in Ahmedabad, is Srinathji. If you go to South India, they have put, if you actually, our Maharaj put Lord Ram also. In the Rajkot temple, we had Lord Ram, Sita Mata, all were there. And then Srinathji is also there. And then Gauranita is also there. And Jagannath Baladev and Narasimha deity is also there. Narasimha deity is not there in all over the world. Most of the temples, they don't have Narasimha, except in Mayapur. So our Maharaj wanted Narasimha deities, we installed in Rajkot. So it is depends on the taste of each and every Acharya, and they can do it. But basic deities should be Radha Krishna. Chief deities should be Radha Krishna worship. They can have other deities also, there is no problem. So all the ISKCON has been authorized to accept anything, but the primary deities should be Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava, because our Sampradaya should not be compromised. And that is the main purpose Prabhupada emphasized. Okay. This is okay, Prabhu?
Pankaj Prabhu, are you fine? Thank you, Prabhuji. He is saying thank you, and he's fine.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Sajjan Priya Prabhuji, for the wonderful session and clearing so many doubts.
No problem.
We
Whatever
can,
little knowledge I have, I will share.
your experience is really valuable for us. Thank you, Prabhuji. So we'll offer Vaishnava Pranam and end the class.
Yes, Vancha Kalpadrupesha, Kripasindabhyocha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namah. Anantagori Vaishnavindaki Jai. Thank you very much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Thank you for the association. And you are enlightening me and encouraging me into devotion service. Please pray for me that whatever I have spoken, I should adopt and practice in my life. Please pray for me, so that I should also get taste for the Krishna's names, pastimes and all. I don't have the taste. I'm still struggling for the taste. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.